Let's see this back a little bit. Ooh, face in my butts.
You have a half hour before it fucking kicks in. What do you?
Because this is all the stuff that I use at the very end of the show.
We should say something funny.
Face in my butts.
I said funny, not offensive.
Faces in my butt.
Having them cheeks.
Faces in my butt. Faces in my butt.
Jesus, start the show.
You're not supposed to notice that. It's supposed to be ad-libbed and whatnot. But I don't care.
Good.
It hasn't popped up yet.
One of these days. Oh, I'll try it today. Let's see.
One of these days I'll try today.
Okay, kids.
Let's go. Oh, I was looking for it on YouTube.
Have you felt it?
Have I felt it? I felt something.
Hello,
Ah,
what
shit.
have we here?
Ooh!
So funny.
Hello.
Forgot to change the title.
Holy shit. You ain't seen
Forgot to change the title. That's how long it's been since we doing this. Is it? I hope it's recording.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy.
Do you see us?
Thank you guys for tuning in, Rogue Squadron Podcast.
We're back. We have arrived.
Had to take it all in with the butts.
That Ohio humidity back.
Oh, yeah.
What?
People don't believe that. Like, it's weird because you go east or west and east of us, and it's like dry. But for some reason,
I
right
disagree.
in that fucking middle.
Coast stuff is even worse. DC and Philly is like, ugh.
Philly was when I was living in PA, it was actually also extremely bad. So
It's terrible. Yeah, until you get to the plains. The plainage.
did you say you were commander?
I'm Commander Cody.
Mopar.
Yeah, specifically. I have a tattoo to memorize it.
Me neither.
We've been gone. It's been a month. It's been three weeks. It's been a month.
A lot of stuff happened.
Talk about your life.
I have children now. I don't.
Went away, picked up some children.
Yeah,
Came back.
so I got the marriage completion check mark.
Nice.
We went on our honeymoon in Alaska. We'll probably touch on that here in about 2.5 minutes.
Did you get all achievements?
I got all but one.
Damn, which one did you miss?
I didn't escalate. I didn't do that.
You
yet.
didn't escalate the marriage.
So yeah, we honeymoon in Alaska, and then we purchased a house. So we're within the past 3 weeks have been moving along in the adulthood.
I wish I had a soundboard with like audience applause or booze.
Or
I purchased a house and got married. Boo.
so be it, homeowner.
I'll just stack that and loop that. So be it.
Homeowner.
Can yourself die over here.
As we do every episode, we'll get into our beer review. We've got a land grant that we have not done yet. Surprisingly, I know everybody loves
Hearing us talk about land grants.
It's just so convenient right there. But there is still a 6-pack that we have not tried
Their
yet.
beer's not that great, but it's just really close.
Very true. Party on.
It's like at the end of the party when you want a beer and the only thing that's left is Bud Light, and you're like, it's not great, but it's here.
Except the opposite happened at Celebration when they ran out of cheap beer and started pulling out
Busted.
Pilsner, Kel, and
Yeah.
all the fucking craft shit that had dead
Yeah.
dust on it. By
Just-
the way, I didn't know dust you had to scrub off if you let sit for a fucking time. That's what we did for like a week straight, was just scrub the house. Because
Yeah.
first of all, you just want to do it.
You're
Second
talking
of
about
all-
moving now.
Yeah. Second of all,
I was talking about beer.
the place was disgusting. Like everything was good and new,
Yeah.
but like the people hadn't opened windows since they bought the fucking house.
Oh, you're
And,
talking about the house that you purchased.
Yeah, the dust that had settled like on the windows, I had to scrub. You didn't wipe it with a fucking cloth. You had to shoot it in the fucking head.
You need some toxic nuclear chemicals.
Bleach.
Nuclear chemicals to clean that shit off.
Speaking of nuclear, and I know
Yeah.
this is a tangent.
What?
Have you watched Chernobyl yet?
Man, I'm behind on a lot of things. I've been traveling like a shit
But
ton.
yes, you watched it all.
I haven't. I have not.
I've
So-
only watched one episode, so.
and I've mentioned and probably complained about this before that my wife doesn't like certain types of shows. So I have a whole list of things that I'm trying to start, but I have to watch them by myself. And we've been watching TV or haven't had time to watch anything.
Yeah.
So like Chernobyl, there's a movie about Ted Bundy with Zac Efron that
It's
I've
on
been meaning to
Netflix.
watch. There's a couple others that I just haven't been able to actually start yet. So Chernobyl is number 1 on the list. So, but it's good.
J and K, who live in the same complex as us,
I don't like those.
they said it was really boring. And I was like,
You guys are idiots.
yes, we're no longer friends with them. Yeah, the first episode, I'm hooked, man. I love it. I love
Good.
the old. It's like historical, but also like it's muddied waters. Like no one knows exactly what happened, so they're
Yeah.
kind of digging in deep to what the Soviet government.
So they're just making shit up.
Oh yeah, baby.
Propaganda. For the
Propaganda.
rising communist
Battlefield 4.
agenda that's happening.
Battlefield 4 propaganda.
Hey, Rich is in the chat. I forgot we had a chat.
I forgot we had a Rich.
I forgot to also rename the title of the stream. I'm sorry. It's been that long since we've done this. I forgot what I was doing. It's recording though. I checked that.
That's good.
What else is going on?
Well, you did a bunch of travels too. You were West Coast and East Coast within the past episode.
Yeah, I had a conference in Austin, and then we went from Austin to another conference in San Francisco. First time in San Fran.
Yeah, that's
Delicious city that's way too expensive.
Yeah, that's the wife's favorite city.
I like it a lot. It has like New York vibes in the city. Has all the California goodness of
California.
the mountains, the forest, the coast, the bay, and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Very unique city. Just, you can't go very often unless you are a millionaire because that's what happened.
I have not been to San Fran yet.
It's gorgeous. I like it a lot, and it's cool. Like it's colder than you would expect.
Oh, okay.
So it
Yes.
floats between like 55 and 70 all year round, basically.
Well, people think. Well, okay. As in people, I mean me. From the
One would think.
East Coast, you think, okay, L.A. and San Fran, they got to be somewhat close to each other. I mean, within a reasonable drive. It's like 8 fucking hours.
I think it's like 6.5.
Yeah,
But
it's close to 8.
I just drove that distance today coming back from the other trip that we had, which was DC and Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So from here to Baltimore is the length of 2 cities in the same state in California.
Yeah.
The West is massive, and I like it.
I love D.C. I've probably been there 5 or 6 times in my life. I love it. I love
do.
DC.
I enjoy it a lot. But you know
It's
what?
not like the nicest city, but I love the historical aspects of it.
The parts that we saw were good.
That don't go to the south.
I went to the good neighborhoods, I guess. You know what I fucking hate is the shape of the state of Maryland.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fuck.
Who the fuck designed that shit?
Screwy eyeball guy.
How hammered were they in the Revolution when they were like, I'm going to carve out this and then reach this part all the way to Ohio. I think that looks good. And then carve out a square for DC and then cut that whole peninsula in half and give some of it to Delaware where nothing happens.
We're not, yeah, except for Foden Bede. No, yeah, there's that corridor right there where it's like PA, Maryland, and West Virginia within 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
It's like the Four Corners where
It's
there's
like a
Colorado, Utah,
medical
and
frigate.
whatever.
It's like a medical frigate for the rebellion.
I get it, yeah.
Look it up if you don't know.
I believe. I can imagine.
Just
I can visualize.
Put engine boosters on the back of like near Delaware, and all of a sudden it's a fucking frigate. I've been playing Battlefield 5 recently.
I've been playing nothing. But no, we went to DC and Baltimore. Baltimore, my first time there. It was cool. A lot of historical shit. There was some naval ships in the bay. We saw Fort McHenry, which was cool, where motherfucker wrote the Star Spangled Banner. So I'm just like I've been getting more and more into history lately. So I was just all about the buildings in Washington. Like
East is the beast of the history. It's a lot of it out there.
Baltimore has the most national historic landmarks of any city in the country. I read that as a factoid.
Is that why she's from there?
Who's she?
Baltimore?
Marima. I texted you that. You didn't laugh. The fuck?
I could have at the time.
The whole time we were planning this trip, I didn't think of that joke once. And then we were driving in and I saw the sign, Welcome to Baltimore. And I was like, hey, what is that? Sorry. Everybody go watch Scarface, please.
Scarface, yeah. When they dance for the first time. Where you from? Huh? Yes. The nebulous B frigate is gorgeous.
Hancock.
Hancock, what do you say?
It's like a bird.
Flying around. All right, let's get into this beer review. Land Grant.
We've been sipping on the Massive, which is delicious. The second beer they have in honor of the Columbus crew. I'll set that to the side for now. And then this isn't the only Land Grant beer I haven't tried. It is the only one that's in cans that we could bring back that I haven't tried. So it's the Helios Rustic Lager. And it looks cool. And it looks cool. Helios, what Greek god is he / Roman god?
This is a drunk one. You can see him. He's got a coffee in his hand. He's hungover.
He's got a harp, and he does look like he has like a tumbler of Starbucks. And he has the Statue of Liberty's thing. He stole it from her.
Looks like he's trying to take a piss in the canal right there.
Sorry,
on
where
the,
no one
on
can
the
see
ships.
this. I apologize. Here,
The
I'll show you now.
warships.
Check it out.
Try to pronounce this type of yeast. Kivik.
Vike. Kvatch. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah. So I don't see any. I mean, it has. I don't see any ABV. I guess is my.
Oh, look. It was,
right
it
there.
was brewed sustainably.
Yep. 5.2% by volume. Yeah, you said it was a rustic lager. I'm interested to know or to experience a rustic lager.
You ever think people just throw titles around? This is a lager, but if you need something to differentiate it from the other beers in the market. So this one's a
Substantial lager.
historical lager.
This one's brand fucking new lager.
All right, let's cheers this and sip on it, and then I'm going to talk about the breweries that I went to.
Guys, we got a church key.
A real one. Thanks, FedEx. Well, not thanks, but look, FedEx. Look, it's a church key.
Yeah, we got one. I got it on those lines. All right, cheers to this shit. Oh, we got the drinking bell. All right,
That's enough.
cheers to this.
Welcome back, everybody.
Good to have you. Nubian. That's what we should start. What kind of lager is this? Nubian. This is really good.
Wow.
This is really good. Rustic. That's what the rustic means. Really fucking good. 3 out of 3.
Really underestimated.
The label is actually
Super typical Indonesian craft.
this.
I just made it up.
This label's actually a notch down from their usual labels. They get pretty extravagant with theirs, with a common theme, but
What are you talking about?
it's just great. This.
It's That's Helios. It's named after Helios.
Oh, is this rustic?
Yes.
I get it now.
Ancient Greek rustic. Ancient Grustic.
What do you think? Is it good or not?
I like it a lot. It's very good.
All right, we'll cheers on it.
We already cheersed. And then
We can do it
drank
all day,
How many times are you supposed to cheers?
every time.
Yeah, like every single beer that you drink with a group of people, or just the first beer that you have as a group? You don't cheers every single fucking beverage.
Could you imagine if that was a rule every time you had to open like a new
I would
one?
get nothing done. we were joking, the group that we were partying with last night. We were in Baltimore for an engagement party for one of my wife's friends. But we were joking about how Mrs. Commander drinks so slow. I probably have 3 beers for every single glass of wine or whatever that she has. Like, and that's across the board. That's water. That's tea. She just takes forever. She'll have a tea from Starbucks all fucking day.
That's
and keep
disgusting. to me.
reheating it, and it lasts all day long.
That just sounds disgusting to me.
But anyways, yeah. So if I drank triple the amount of everybody, it sounds really bad. I just drink quicker pace, and then had to cheers every single time. That'd be terrible. All right. So while I was away, and I want you to talk about the Alaska beers because you never even told me. So I had some things from Union Craft Brewing in Baltimore. The Duck Pin, I think, is their flagship one. I don't know if you've heard of that. The Duck Pin Pale Ale. And the Divine IPA. Those are both really good. And then the brewery that I went to in DC is called Right Proper. And honestly, this IPA that I had was fucking fantastic. I gave it a 4.5 on Untapped, which is pretty high for me. So it was right tasty,
Is that all you had? Is 2 beers?
right delicious. Something from Port City. I wasn't a huge fan.
What was your worst favorite beer?
My worst favorite, this Monumental from Port City. It just had that overly caramel malty stuff. Not in an IPA. I feel like it throws the balance way off. Old Ox Brewery was fucking awesome. Basic City was awesome. Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
How about you? What did Alaska have in store for you, Mopar?
The only one that I particularly remember, all we did. It's not like we got hammered out there, but we bought like
I don't even remember drinking.
4 6-packs for the whole trip, and we kind of just kept them and sipped on them. Nothing blew me away, but there was the 49th State Brewery in Anchorage. So we actually drank their beer up in Denali when we were camping, and then we ended up at the brewery in Anchorage. First of all, great pizza. I mean,
All
some
right.
of the best shit. Discrotum. What's going on?
Scrotum is back.
Fucking Moscow up in these bitches.
And we got Schnobes, and we got Kerner, and we got Rich. What up, everybody? Keep talking about pizza in Alaska.
The beers were fine. Nothing really blew me away. A lot of like solid ones, but nothing was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And actually, several 6-packs we had to just kind of get through.
Yeah.
We did a mixed 12-pack of a random brewery. They were all average to below average, so
I guess you can't expect too much, though. I mean, it can't be that every single beer every brewery makes is so good that it's like, oh, fuck.
yeah.
You know, at some point you're going to be like, oh, this is a solid beer.
So I came across a bit of information that blew
A wee bit.
my bollocks.
Let me hear about it.
There are more people in Rhode Island than Alaska. The smallest state
I believe that.
has more population than all of Alaska.
I totally believe that.
It's amazing.
And Alaska is as big as a third of the United States.
Yeah,
continental.
It's like 3.5 Texases.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I've never been. That's on my short list of places to visit.
It's truly, it was so good, and we did it the right way, not to pat ourselves on the back, but it was so nice to be able to just, we're gonna drive there, we're gonna go there, instead of having a cruise where we're just stuck.
Yeah.
And we're at the, we were able to go to a local pizza place. We went to this fucking cafe, like so imagine a highway where it's like every 20 miles there might be a gas station, and then there was like a gas station and a cafe, and then I mean another 20, 40 miles there'd be nothing but mountains. It was beautiful, but we stopped off to get to the park. It was about a half-hour drive from our cabin. We were inside the park, but to get to the park entrance to where they actually had trails.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But in between there and our cabin, there was a little cafe. We stopped off there one breakfast. The best fucking burrito I've ever had. It had elk sausage? Reindeer sausage in it. Holy fuck.
What?
It was, yeah.
Well, it's probably better. I mean, it's better, obviously, because it's like, meat that you're getting there and wild game or whatever, but it's probably cheaper for them to get that crazy wild game and like elk and bison and reindeer or whatever the fuck than it is to like ship stuff into Alaska because it's so far up there.
Yeah, I mean, I had an elk burger. Didn't do anything for me. I don't, it just kind of tasted like a slightly gamier. It wasn't, and not in a terrible way. I don't mind a little gamey, but you get into like duck and shit, and like meat doesn't taste like meat. It's so gamey.
I've never had duck actually.
And rabbit's disgusting
Never
to
had
me.
that.
I could. It's all texture. It's like just gummy. Like you're chewing and chewing and chewing. I'm like, fucking get out of my mouth. But what do we got? Discrota says, come to the West Coast. I just moved to Washington. Dude, I just got married in Washington.
Nice.
Why don't you step the fuck up?
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of this guy. Get him out of the fucking chat.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Also, why are you on Twitch? What the fuck, man?
That's very true. What do you want to rate this land grant while we're ramblings? 3!
Breaking news. It's good to have a 3-star beer on the first day back. So, no, it really. I'm not just saying that because it is the first day back. It
Yes,
really
you
is
are.
good.
Yes,
No,
you
it's
are.
really good.
Let me say this. I am also going to give it a 3, but I feel like on the wrong day, I would not give this a 3. I don't know what I mean by that, but this is tasting very good. I had a few too many beers on Friday, so I was like, I had nothing yesterday, and I just kind of chilled.
I had a lot last night.
So this tasting good is a big check mark, a large one.
Well,
Maybe even 2.
I drank a lot last night, and it still tastes good. So,
Boom, 3 out of 3.
3 out of 3 stars.
Ask me on Tuesday, maybe a different
I
rating.
might just pour it down the drain. No, it is. It really is tasty.
Let me get. Let me quickly get. Okay. Let me.
No, we're capping this off.
Yeah.
Ohio
So,
malts, local honey, Midwest hops, and it's delicious.
3 out of 3.
Check it out if you're in Central Ohio.
We're gonna be getting into Fallen Order. So during the E3, they released a full-length, gameplay trailer, ish. It's a good like 10 minutes, 10, 11, 12 minutes along those lines. Commander has not seen it.
I haven't seen anything.
I watched part of it. So we're going to be kind of doing a reaction review on that here this episode.
Hell yeah.
We're also going to be taking a look at episode 9. Oh my fucking guys.
Vanity
Oh
Fair
my fucking
photos.
guys.
You haven't seen those at all yet?
I don't think so.
Damn.
I was in Alaska, I believe,
were,
when,
yeah.
and we had a little bit of Wi-Fi, but it
Those are
wasn't great.
gorgeous.
So Vanity Fair picture spread or whatever the fuck
Feature.
feature happened.
I wrote spread on the show.
I don't know what are you doing.
Vanity. They spread the pages and you can see Kylo Ren.
KOTOR movie. KOTOR movie has been announced.
No, it's been rumored.
No, I thought it was unofficially like official. Like someone in Disney said, yes, we're doing that storyline.
All right, we'll specify. Somebody is writing. I can't remember her name, but we'll look it up when we talk about the full topic.
Mhm.
They're writing a script based on things from the Old Republic. So it doesn't mean they're doing a KOTOR movie per se.
It's just
It doesn't mean it's like a movie version of the game. It doesn't mean Revan's going to be in it, but it is Old Republic territory and speculation that it's the Benioff and Weiss movies that they're writing for.
We'll
So,
get into that, but
we'll get into
that's
it.
very generically said, and they
Yeah.
could go in so many different directions. But we'll get into that. Finally, I was able to watch the despecialized episode 4 and 5. I have not yet watched 6. But just to cap off the honeymoon Alaska thing as well, the wildlife was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Unfortunately, and fortunately, we did not come across a bear. Now,
probably for the best.
in our backyard, so the cabin was around this lake, but you walk 200, 300 yards away and you get into this riverbed up against the mountain. And it was like untouched land. And we went out there and you could see that rainwater or something had flooded the area slightly and then it had drained out. So everything was a little wet, like the surrounding area.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did do is we walked along that like surrounding area wet beach place
Yeah.
and bear prints all over the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Moose, you know him?
They don't fuck around.
Baloo? Have you met him? Baloo, you know that dude? He,
Sorry, keep going.
the bare necessities. And then we came across a wolf. So we were sitting around a campfire.
Wait, you came across a wolf?
Twice. We were sitting around a campfire, taking in the sunlight at fucking 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, I saw the photos.
And as it like got somewhat dark, we saw this hare or rabbit. They're pretty big with real tall ears. I think they're considered hares up there. But this hare had been around the cabin constantly, and it took off. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. He usually kind of just hops away, and then we kind of just kept drinking or doing
I was
whatever.
waiting for you to give him a beat.
And I looked over and I saw something move, and I was like, oh, maybe he was moving away from that moose. That's not a moose. That's a fucking wolf.
Oh, so you actually saw it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was like there was like a little alcove, like of a 10 to 15 foot little like dick of water that came off of the lake.
Is it the opposite of peninsula?
Yes, exactly.
I know that you said dick of water.
But that was what was separating us. So we had like this little small shrubbery, and then the water area, and then on the other side of the water.
Shrubbery
so
will protect you for
we
sure.
saw it walk away, and like she thought it was a moose as well, and then we started looking at it how it was walking, and it was silent.
Was it a wolf or a dire wolf?
It might have been dire. I don't know how hungry it was.
I don't like you. Why is this happening?
But that was our first encounter with a wolf. The second encounter, we didn't actually see it, but we were on a hike up the mountain, and about 50 yards away, we heard the closest howl I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, and it was like where we were going. I was like, should we just turn the
That's
fuck back?
terrifying.
It was loud. It was fucking loud, like Mopar loud.
That's creepy as hell. Yeah, I remember you saying that. So when you said you had an encounter with a wolf, I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, we saw it, and it was just kind of walking away, and I'm glad it fucking walked away. But supposedly, because we went into a shop there at near the town there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the wildlife that we saw. And the guy said, look, I've been here 10 years and I was a guide through the trails and everything. I think maybe I've seen 3-4 wolves the entire 10 years. So the fact that you came across one and heard another one is ridiculous, because they said they're just straight elusive. And they're not as pack hunters up here because there's not a lot. So they're kind of defensive against each other.
Yeah.
Long story short, the wildlife up there is crazy. Saw a beached whale. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. No joke. I've never seen an animal that big.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I mean, like, dead, like on the beach. It was massive.
Blue whale?
No, it was a little gray whale. Supposedly, gray whales are not as advanced. Their brains are smaller.
Mentally, they didn't graduate.
So they get confused if the tides flood quick and then come out. So they get lost, and I supposedly just got lost.
That's sad.
On the way out to that area, we came across 13 bald eagles all in one area.
Fuck.
On
the ground, just chilling or flying around?
They were like on a low tide beach. They were just all chilling.
That's awesome.
I've never seen birds of prey like respect each other enough to just chill.
Well, yeah. They're the ones doing
for
the killing.
nature channel. Mopar in nature. Da-da-da-da. Here we go. All right, we'll get into
You need to get hired by National Geographic.
Mopar Geographic.
Yeah, I didn't get enough nature in my life. When I was on my travels, we were always in cities. So I did see. I saw Endor. I went to the Muir Woods north of San Francisco, which is not where they filmed Episode 6, but is like the national park that has the redwoods.
I've never seen the redwoods, and that's one thing.
They're
I've always
insane.
wanted to see.
They're
Yeah,
crazy. Probably is like the beach whale that you saw. Like, you don't believe that it's that big.
I thought it like felt fake. It felt like I was at Galaxy's Edge. Like someone
Yeah.
put this here.
Right.
Clearly.
That's how the trees felt. Yeah. It was gorgeous.
God, the smell. Oh,
Terrible, right?
oh. It smelled straight like Lake Erie. No joke.
I don't know if that's better or worse than what I was anticipating.
we went down to Seward kind of on a whim, because people told us Anchorage was kind of the armpit of Alaska. First of all, Anchorage is one of the best cities I've ever seen. And the fact that that's the armpit, I'm like, this is a great state.
Well, we're moving to Alaska.
But we had planned to go down to Seward, which is supposedly where like one of the original settlers came. It was like Captain Seward or whatever. But it's a coast town, all fish, all fishermen, all sea life and all that. So one, I got a fucking fish sandwich there. It was humongo halibut. I don't like fish. I'm not a huge fish fan, I should say. It was great.
Because you live in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. No joke. That's why. Yeah. And it was crazy. And I was even mentioning that as we were walking around on this coast with all this fish shit, it didn't smell like fish.
Yeah, because it's fucking fresh.
Yes. And it was like turquoise neon water. It was ridiculous. You know why? We went 20 minutes up the road, and it's because it's glacier water melting and going into the bay. So it's like 10,000 year old, 10,000 year old, 10,000 year old, 10 to 25,000 year old water that has not seen the day of the light of day. Dude, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It was almost gone, which was kind of sad. But yeah, we were watching a glacier kind of melt.
I've never seen a glacier before.
It was.
Sounds awesome.
It was not good.
What do you mean?
I mean, it was. They showed where it was. Okay, first of all,
it's like a giant ice mountain, right?
It was between. It was like in a valley of two mountains, so it was like a big ice sheet in between. But they said they had like a picture of it like 10,000 years ago, and it would have covered both mountains. So it would have just been flat ice, and that was it. And as it melted, the mountains actually started like, becoming visible. But you're like, okay, 10, 25,000 years ago, it took this long to melt.
Yeah.
It makes you feel, I don't know.
Well, I'm obsessed with Graham Hancock and all this history stuff and lost civilization nonsense. And the big event is when an asteroid hit and melted all the ice caps in North America that were, sustaining the ice age. Mm-hmm. That's the end of the ice age. So I'm reading about glaciers all the time, but I've never seen one.
You know what I was doing actually up there is we had like an Apple TV.
I say researching like I'm a fucking scientist.
Exactly.
Apple TV?
You are. We had an Apple TV, and none of the apps were like
You had an Apple device, Mopar? I don't believe it.
It was a pain in the fucking ass, honestly.
Because you had bad Wi-Fi, probably.
Yeah, that was probably 100% of it. But the apps weren't logged into, so the only app we could use was YouTube. So I was while we were falling asleep when it was daytime out.
Do you see why you need subscriptions to Hulu and Netflix so that way you're on the go, you can log in and watch whatever you want?
We have that. We have Hulu
Why
and
just log in?
Netflix.
Why don't you just log in?
Because I didn't fucking have to. So what I ended up doing was just searching like space nature shit and falling asleep to like hour-long documentaries about that stuff. I watched one about how the moon was formed, and it was a huge asteroid that came in, or no, I think it was another planet, collided with Earth.
Yep.
And then like a bit of it like broke off and became the moon.
Yeah.
But
well,
like
I think the debris was stuck in orbit and it gradually like converged like over like 1 million years.
and then just
A
fucking
bunch of bits
struck
of the
us.
comets like came together and like because of the gravity, they just like formed into a sphere.
Gravitas.
Yep.
We'll get into the Star Wars shit here in about 10 seconds.
Nature documentary plus ancient lost civilizations.
So bring up Fallen Order gameplay.
Are
It
we
should
doing
be-
that first?
Yeah, I want to give them a treat because we've been talking about nothing for about a half minute. So as you're bringing it up,
As I'm
I
bringing
would
that
love-
up, give me another beverage.
and
And I
my
will pull this
thoughts
up.
my thoughts went here as I was talking and thinking about Alaska.
Thank you.
What in the Star Wars universe? What planet?
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Would
Like what
you-
planet would you like to live on?
No, what planet would you closely relate to a crazy mountainous area? And I actually was kind of at a loss.
I don't think there is one really.
There has to fucking be mountains on all of them.
Well, I'm sure there is, but it's always been like desert or snow or forest. There hasn't been like a mountainous thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The only one I could think of was when they crash land at that TIE fighter base in Rogue One. Because that's very mountainous. Where it's raining.
Oh yeah, Edu. Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's probably the closest thing that you can get.
But
All right.
it's oh baby.
So I'm gonna queue up Fallen Order, and for those that are listening, you're going to hear the gameplay and everything. I'm gonna pull our music down, and that way you can at least hear what's happening on this video, even if we're not actually.
And we're not gonna watch it straight through. I think we're gonna pause to chat about it because that's why you guys are here, instead of just watching it. Because you can just watch it somewhere else. Alderaan. Shinobi
can
says
you?
Alderaan was known for its mountainous regions. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's it.
Remember when the bits were
Yep.
flying out when they they stopped in space and they said it's no longer here. That's so the mountains were hitting them.
I was gonna say the spot in at the end of episode 3 when they go to drop off Leia. That's what I was gonna say.
Are you doing something over here?
Yeah, Chrome just went fucking ballistic.
Ballistic.
It
Started
did.
shooting
It
up the
really
internet.
did. It really did.
When
Freaked out for a second.
military.
I had to quit.
Oh man.
I'm excited to watch this. I've been so behind on movies. I haven't been in the movie theater since Endgame. Aladdin's out. Shazam, Pikachu. I haven't seen any of that. I haven't played anything. I know there's been some big updates to Battlefront and some bigger announcements. Something about Felucia I saw. But I'm just behind on everything right now.
I guess I could chat about Battlefield real quick. I jumped back on 5. They have added maps. Well, I've seen one new map. It's a coastal area, just like where I was. It's fucking bananas. I love that game. I still play it. I'm not as good at Battlefield 5, but I do feel like they finally got rid of all the bugs of Battlefield 1, and it became Battlefield 5, and it's so smooth now.
It's hard though, right?
It is difficult. It's not easy.
See, why is it doing this?
You're broken.
I just clicked full screen. What's it doing? Why is it doing that?
Technical difficulties.
I'm just saying, look at it though. Click YouTube, full screen. Everybody can see this. I'm not crazy.
Now, can you try to play it?
Yeah, it plays. But it's not big enough.
Maybe do the theater mode. Just make it a little bigger.
Oh my god. What's theater mode?
Doesn't it have theater mode where it's larger than normal mode but not full screen? No, that's what it's called, theater mode. Have you ever YouTubed?
Yeah, but I've
Get
never
outta
used theater mode before.
There should be 2 boxes on the right side of the video, bottom right. There should be
This?
2 of them. No, on the actual screen. Like
Uh-uh.
if you're trying to do full screen,
I'm not even seeing it right now.
reload the page.
This is botched.
Also, what is all this other shit you got next to it?
Some plugin that I installed that was a mistake. Hang on, I'm hitting all these buttons. Listen, man, I forgot how to use a computer. Leave me alone. What is happening?
Commanders, this
Things are
is Commander's first time.
self-destructing. Listen, I told you we need a producer to fucking click the buttons. I can't call him that because it's funny. No, it's being strange, man.
People are strange.
But damn,
You to a stranger.
I did listen to some Doors on the way back.
Yeah, that's what you do with those long things. You pick audiobooks and entire albums. Because you got time. You got the time, baby.
Well, Spotify has these really nice. This is the artist. Like, this is the Doors. This is Zeppelin. And it's a playlist of like 100 of their best tunes for the Doors. I guess not 100.
See,
but
theater. So you got full screen. I don't know what that is. And then theater.
nice.
Click
All right.
theater.
No, I'm gonna do this now that I opened it in Safari and it should work properly.
There we go.
Imagine that, Google Chrome, you fucking piece of shit. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever used. So they're starting a game here.
So this
This looks like right off the bat. You get the game, you click start, and it starts going into this game mode.
wait, really?
That's what it looked like.
Well, this is a demo though. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen.
This looks like the intro to the fucking game. So you got the camera flying in right behind you.
I like the good old
so-
companion droid situation.
Yeah, pause it for a quick second.
Already?
So it's like Battlefield 2, the newer one, Battlefront 2, with Iden and her droid that goes on the back on her back.
Yeah.
The gameplay is going to be similar to. It's kind of like between that. I guess you start with a lightsaber in this, so it's somewhere between like a Jedi Outcast and Force Unleashed. If you guys don't know, the actor is Ian from Shameless,
Indeed.
and it's obvious.
Well, this
unique.
might not be the beginning of the game.
This is obviously. Look at this. Force pull, rope, bitch. Whoop.
Interesting.
Front flip, back flip. And then you do some
Some walk shit. This is like Prince of Persia,
it's like
Assassin's Creed.
Titanfall wall run.
Oh, I guess it is Respawn, yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Look who's here, baby.
Oh shit.
Imperial Sap Refinery lies dead ahead.
Saw Gerrera.
Empire want with tree sap.
So he's just working for him.
They refine the sap into a powerful compound.
Look at
They're
these-
rushing to expand production.
Oh, those Wookiees?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Stop them.
Are they on Kashyyyk?
We don't know their end game, but they spread themselves too thin.
Oh
This
no.
map we recovered proves it.
This little droid is so useful. It does everything. It's portable.
These refineries double as brutal prison camps. We use those cutters to create a distraction.
Saw Gerrera's armors is so sweet.
Saber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
His face looks weird.
Watch yourself in there.
This is alpha footage, by the way.
Yeah.
You hear that?
The droid looks great.
Needs my help. Come on, buddy.
I love the little companion feature. It's like, what's the monkey in Aladdin?
Free the Abu. Free the Wookiees is the objective here. Forest Trench on Kashyyyk. We are on Kashyyyk.
Oh, you just use them both? Mm-hmm. Fuck you, Kerner. That's how you do it. So are we going to see, like, Chewie in this shit?
I hope it's not forced. If you come across him, I'm okay with it. Oh, baby. And he's using it as a goddamn glow stick. He's going to the rave, baby.
Yeah, all right,
This looks cool, doesn't it?
this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just reminded me a lot of Force Unleashed.
It does. Yeah. The
And that's
movements.
that's just not my kind of game.
The Force Unleashed was not my type of game at all.
No.
But this, there's like a nostalgia and a complete, like the surroundings look so perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can see the battle going on that those guys just said we'll try to distract them.
Ooh.
See, this part of it reminds me of Jedi Knight,
Yeah.
Kyle Katarn stuff. Whoosh, bitch.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
We'll get into the attacks here,
One of the cutters turned on.
but it reminded me of the Dark Knight series. The attacks
Yeah,
were
I'm
kind of
getting
cool.
a little bit of that too. Yeah, all those like action, stealth, adventure type of games. The
Like,
thing that I
sorry, if there's
was
different
cool.
if there's different ways to do this. Also, the lasers shoot really slow. Shoo, shoo.
oh shit, that was
That was
crazy.
brutal. So he pulled the stormtrooper to his lightsaber, basically. Oh, he slowed time there.
All right, Kylo Ren.
Whoa.
That's cool.
But like the flow of force powers, how we could use those, I feel like there's so many different ways you could kill those guys with the depending on the force powers.
Yeah, you have some more freedom, variation.
Yep.
The main thing I worry about with games like this is it gonna get repetitive?
Yes. There's got to be a good storyline.
Well, not even that. I'm just saying, whenever you break the storyline and get into action, like, is it gonna be repetitive? Like, okay, fight with these guys. These decapitations do look fucking badass, though. But I wonder if it's gonna be like hit, kill shot, and then you have like 4 force powers and like the lightsaber throw, and like it just.
Uh-oh. Mini boss.
Mini boss, yeah. That's the Magna Guard thing. Oh, that's the new trooper, the Purge trooper, yeah.
Taking on a lightsaber,
Yeah, it's like the Magna Guard's staff.
but better.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been in a Star Wars movie, but this is fucking sweet. I shan't lie about it.
Knocking his ass down, baby.
This actually kind of reminds me of Dark Souls.
Yeah, the how it's locked onto him.
Yeah. And you have like stamina and health and everything, like for your move sets.
Oh yeah, and you can die, and this is a video game. Yeah, same thing. Dude, he's
What
getting
the
fucked. That pause it for a second. So physically, that guard was like blacked out, murdered out. That's I'm sorry, that's car terms. So where it's black from head to toe. Like he looks so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you're probably gonna come across those fuckers quite often because they're decent. If you
Oh,
come across
yeah.
like 3 of those,
Yeah.
you really have to start thinking, like, how am I gonna go about taking out 3 of these guys? Because one guy can like do some damage. 3 of these are gonna be overwhelming.
It's like 3 Black Knights in Dark Souls.
Yes,
Honestly, so like
they're Saw.
killing just the Stormtrooper stuff reminded me of Force Unleashed, but that one-on-one fight reminded me a lot of Dark Souls. So that's cool. That's good to see.
Positive.
So why you make me pause it?
So that no, it's a good
Live
point.
reaction.
So it's a good point because stormtroopers really should be cut up like butter if you're a Jedi. Like they should
Yeah,
be
true.
an annoyance, and then you should come across stuff like that where
Yeah.
it's. So I do like the flow of that though.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Think you can help me, BD?
I can dig it. We're not even halfway through. Wow. Yeah, it's just
What? We went fuck straight GoldenEye up in this bitch.
that was very like Arkham.
Oh, that is because he does climb through a bunch of like shit.
Yep. He goes in the
Did you
shafts
just
and
become
everything.
the droid? Okay, never mind.
That's cool.
Flame beetles, they're coming through the wall.
Flame beetles.
All right, Star Wars. I'm seeing some things that the Stormtroopers have that hint towards First Order shit. Like those scout troopers in the previous room had, like, what Finn fights with that, like, that staff that can reflect the lightsaber. Mm-hmm. And then these guys have the flamethrower thing. I'm seeing, like, we're working towards some new tech here, which is cool.
That the flamethrower looks so cool. So it looks so good. CGI is ridiculous nowadays.
I know. Score seems pretty good so far.
That's a good point. Oh my God! Make it happen, Captain. I love this shit. He's climbing up like random broken bridges or
You sure you
walkways.
into this thing?
That's another thing too, is like sometimes like the pathways are very, very specified. It's nice when you have 100% free roam. Oh damn, that's a giant fucking saw. That's crazy.
But it isn't a Guerrera.
Ho ho, haha, hee hee.
Ho ho.
Listeners,
I thought
either-
Mofar's jokes were bad.
Listeners, either jump on our YouTube channel so you can see the video of this, or just look up the trailer. Pause this, look up the trailer, watch it, and come back. Or watch it alongside
Ooh,
us.
what
if
is
you
that?
wanna
Is
be a
that one of those
savage. Jesus!
Those are those land ticks that Anakin was riding.
No.
They're a little more upset.
Those look like, that looks like something from Starship Troopers right there.
Oh, it kind of does. Push them off. Thwom.
Dude, that Kylo Ren stasis is awesome.
I think it's time slow. I don't think it's an actual stasis. Ooh, you're fighting beetles up in this bitch.
Oh,
no.
shit. She lob up in this bitch.
This is on Kashyyyk. That's so cool.
Dude.
Because that makes so much sense. Oh my god, that thing just... Run.
What are you doing, whoever made this demo?
Ooh, that was a cool...
That was dope.
Throw your lightsaber into his face.
Oh, he stasis that one and was fighting the other one. That's fucking sweet.
Wow. Yeah, these tick beetle things or whatever they are, spider
Stronger
beetles.
than the Purge Trooper.
Pretty much, which they should be. Goddamn anime ass.
That'll happens in Dark Souls too, man. You'll beat a knight, feel good about yourself, and then run across a fucking mushroom and it'll kill you. I'm serious. That sounds ridiculous, but I'm serious. Tommy Boy's cracking up right now.
It's kind of got a God of War. Is that the same?
I don't know if it's the same developer, but I know what you mean. I haven't played God of War.
Patrol
I don't have a
today.
PlayStation.
Got another breach down here. Some kind of webbing. Hey, who's that?
Oh boy.
It was Gyarados. Those vile beings.
Oh,
no.
Shit.
So there's like a mother beetle thing. I guess it is about the same size. But it surprised you, bitch ass.
Oh shit. Oh, you got a kill shot?
Oh my god, that looks...
Nice.
Stabbed it right in the butt.
Wait, you didn't scan it?
Yeah,
Go back.
You didn't scan it.
You gotta get all the fucking items.
You gotta get the juice.
Need the beetle juice so I can
The beetle juice.
make a new lightsaber.
Man, we're just climbing through the forest. This is cool, man.
Hell yeah.
This has a very good adventure feel. Like we had to go through a cave to get to the prison. Uh-oh, now we're Jedi Knight. We gotta go through the goose.
Well, I was gonna say these things are looking like.
It is a stasis thing. How fucking badass is that?
That's awesome. These Imperial areas are reminding me of like Dark Forces and Jedi Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way
Wall
they look.
run. All the wall runs look the same. Grab it.
Heard from the captain. They're coming.
Now he's pulling a ray on the fucking Star Killer base.
We have the high ground.
Oh,
Cutter 7 is active.
we have the high ground, baby.
Live cutter near the cell block. Immediate aid requested. It's breaking through and destroying everything.
Dude, the sound of his lightsaber igniting.
That's savage. I want to know the story because he's not acting like a Jedi, that's for sure. That's some brutalness.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
So he did the stasis thing with a bolt in the air, pulled the stormtrooper towards him while everything was still frozen, and walked his bitch ass into his own bolt.
I was wondering if that was gonna happen. I literally thought that.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Yoo.
Ooh.
Jedi will be here any minute. And our reinforcements. In retreat. Good. Sir, the fewer distractions, the better.
Oh shit. Here we go. Done.
Why would he do that? I guess he's trying to just show the game off. I wonder if you have those that versatility to choose like stealth versus like full on
Force.
onslaught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool because he pulled one person to him and then pushed him back into another guy. Stab him.
Damn. Yeah, the fighting style is really cool.
Ooh, he just fucked
Shit.
your day up. The attacks, they have like quick attacks and then big attacks, just like Dark Souls.
Yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, like when he lights up red, it's like he's about to do his big one.
Quick.
That was cool. That was like a Ray move right there.
Yeah, it was.
Little help.
Ooh, that was
he's a med
sick.
pack boy.
He just went straight D2 and poofed out a med pack.
No guards.
Or is that a back to tank? I always get them confused because Star Wars sucks.
Good point. I'm with you. Party on.
Half the games do have back to tanks. Half of them are med packs.
I can't even see your face. Aw.
Not alone.
Dude, Imperial droid. It's a K2SO droid. Oh, you're fucked. So the K2SO droid, I looked them up. They're Imperial security droids.
Yeah, it's an actual K2. Damn! Fuck, dude, that was so cool. Seeing a K2 that isn't K2.
ATSTs. Oh my god.
It's insane. All right, well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than Battlefront.
Guaranteed.
And what I mean by that is that the way it's being displayed here looks a little more promising. So that's a good sign. I've already given my my reservations while we watched, but I won't say too much, obviously, like until we play it. You know, you never know until you actually play something. So
Until you have it.
but it's a good premiere, a good look for them too. It's nice. It seems like it went over well. So that's a plus.
Because that's released in like November area.
Yeah,
timeline?
that'll be holiday for show.
Oh,
So
let's see what the people were yelling about. We were unable to see the
oh yeah, the chat while we were
chat
watching.
here.
What
Trust
up,
in the-
Carlos? What up? Kerner's pissed about our pronunciation of Kashyyyk. Yeah.
Scroll up a little bit. Jolie Bindo has a final word on how to pronounce Kashyyyk.
That burrito sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, not much. Everybody's just focused on burritos and Jolie Bindo. They weren't paying attention to this shit. Oh man. No, it's that was cool.
I'm hyped, man. I hope it's not too linear. I hope it's not like go here, do this.
Exactly.
Done. Go here, do this. Done.
Yeah, like here's an obstacle, and here's how you jump over the obstacle, and then throughout the game, every single map is going to have 14 of these obstacles, and you have to jump over them the same way. That's I mean that's my my big trepidation with games like that. So
Use your big words.
yeah, trepidation. Oh. I've been reading the dictionary. You know what I mean?
All right,
So-
Eminem.
No, it's a good start. It's a good start.
Here we go. Star Wars
So-
access, unlimited, all of it. So we're looking at the Vanity Fair stuff here next.
We'll talk more about a Fallen Order.
I'm hyped.
Like that's not your type of game either. Usually, is it?
It depends on how it's done. So I will say this: as soon as I saw the gameplay like start, as soon as he started walking and attacked for the first time, I was like, okay, Force Unleashed 3.0.
Right.
This kind of sucks.
Right.
And then he started getting a little more creative with it of how you can do different stuff. I hope there's some type, because he did get a skill level point several times in that. I hope you can put those in so many different areas that you can go about and complete the game in different ways. Because if you can't, fuck this game.
Yeah. Because all right, so like I said, it's a good reveal. Like it looks good now, but it could very easily be a good-looking demo and the game doesn't deliver. And I know people. I didn't play Anthem, but I know that was a big criticism. The Anthem revealed trailer at E3 looked fucking dope, and then the final game did not look nearly as good, and it wasn't a good game. And it got horribly received, and I think they even shut down support for the game because they were like, "Well, we fucked up. This game's dead." So that could still be a problem. Like, yeah, it looks fucking awesome, but is it gonna deliver? Is it gonna be versatile enough to carry you through 12 hours of gameplay, 15 hours?
My hope is that
Probably not even that long.
they do have some type or some type of aspects, some aspects of RPG where you get to pick your own force powers, build up, first
Yeah.
push becomes stronger and stronger, where you can really start pushing big shit or whatever.
That's the big thing for me.
Also, companions are really important to me. So if we start freeing people and like, let's just say Chewbacca becomes available for a level, or you can have X, like this character we brought in for this film or this movie or this game.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to be like, you know what? Let's do Chewbacca, and then you played off each other in a different way. Fuck guys, come on.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's really not that hard. We should make games. Games are easy. Podcasts are hard.
I would love to. I don't know the first thing about making games, but
Dude,
I feel like I have good ideas for games.
if there was a like KOTOR, they have a lot of cool companions, but you don't play off each other quite as well.
That's a lot.
It's almost like Mass Effect, where you can do those super booms or whatever the fuck. What's the supercharged? Where you do one power and then when I can attack. And
Oh, the detonation.
detonation.
Yeah.
If we started like putting shit together, like Chewbacca does this one move, and then if you do this special force power with it,
Yeah, at the right time. Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So you could it's all interesting.
Yeah, the detonation celebration was a great part of Mass Effect, especially when it came to multiplayer. Might have I?
I don't understand.
We'll see, man. We'll see. That's not my type of game, but it does look like it has some aspects of Dark Souls and stuff, which is really cool. And as long as it's not rinse and repeat like Force Unleashed was, I think.
If it's straight Force Unleashed, because it looks great, just like a Force Unleashed. You move like Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
If there's not a bit of RPG in it, it's gonna kill me. If we don't start interacting with major characters, whether they're companions or enemies. If I come across a crazy known dude, depending on the timeline, can we come across like Maul?
Yeah,
And he gets away because obviously he doesn't die there, but
possibly.
like that's what I'm saying. If we just come across him,
Well, so it's building up to Rogue One, it looks like.
I'm just saying there's some awesome shit that we can build in. I know. All right. Yeah. So final thoughts, like hype meter out of 5.
3.
I'm about a 4 now. I was at like a 2 because I didn't give a fuck until now. So I doubled it.
What I can hope for more than anything is a smooth launch. A smooth, here's our E3 reveal. This is what the gameplay is going to look like. And when launch comes out, it looks even better and not worse. And they handle it smoothly and there's no EA garbage. And that it just goes well. Because even if I'm not a huge fan of action games, Star Wars really needs a solid video game right now. So even if it's not my favorite thing of all time, if it's smooth and it's well received, that's going to make me happy. Because then obviously that opens up the door for more Star Wars games down the line. And then we can keep our fingers crossed for an RPG or a sandbox style or something like that.
The setting of it, like the enemies and the setting, like the fact that you're on Kashyyyk fighting possibly ATSTs.
That was a good choice for the reveal too. That it wasn't just like a random Imperial base and it was all Imperial looking. The fact that you're on Kashyyyk and there's Wookiees, that was cool. That was a good move.
Dude, that's insane because that like builds into Rogue One and the building of the Death Star because they're imprisoning Wookiees. Like it all fucking makes
And
sense.
Solo too. Chewie's captive.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
all those Wookiees are captive on Kessel.
Cool. Moving along here.
Excited.
So we've got what is this? Vanity Fair galleries.
So I would say this is probably the biggest news that we've gotten. And yeah, we've been gone for so long that we haven't even talked about this. I think we were really going over it in our group, but we haven't actually podcasted about it, obviously. So Vanity Fair, as they always do, has a big spread with photos, behind the scenes, info, interviews, etc. for the upcoming Star Wars film. And obviously it's episode 9. So should we just scroll through this?
Let's bust through it.
So if you're listening at home, just yank up the article on Vanity Fair and go through it. Everybody that's live, you're seeing this right on screen with us right now. So it opens with the very first shot, and it's JJ on set with everybody else around, and he is directing Daisy Ridley. And man, these photos.
Where's JJ at?
He's right in the middle.
That's JJ?
Yeah, he looks like a mofo because they're out in the desert.
Oh, okay. Mofo JJ.
Yeah, mofo version. Different skin.
Mofo Jojo. Mofo Jojo.
Travis, Tommy Boy and I were cracking up because I saw somebody that looked like Stephen Avery. And I texted him, and I was like, it was the right out of jail, bald with a giant beard, Stephen Avery. And he's
Yeah,
like,
I gotcha.
he does have different skins. Yeah, this is Mofo Desert, JJ. But no, the photos look great. That environment looks awesome.
They went all the way out to the sand.
All the way out to the sand. We won't read everything, obviously. It's a long article. I did read it. There's some good insights. JJ mentions a lot about how what Ryan did with 8 is really forcing him to like to internalize that when he's coming up with the story for 9, to kind of take what happened to all the characters in 8 and tie it in. So yeah, there's some good shit there. Of course, we have 3PO fucking around with BB-8. The red arm is gone. He's back to normal.
Is it back to silver?
Was the red arm in 8? Or the red arm's already out of the way, right?
Left arm?
The red arm. I don't know which one.
Doesn't it, the one closer to the guy in the white t-shirt here,
I don't
looks
know.
silver?
We're moving on.
We're got arms.
All right, so this is big, I would say. Knights of Ren. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's got to be Knights of Ren.
No, it is Knights of Ren. Literally, Knights of Ren.
Oh my.
J.J. Abrams alongside the stunt coordinator directing Knights of Ren. So
These are enforcers of Kylo Ren. It says right here. That's
yeah.
Kylo Ren's dark will.
So this seemed like a pipe dream, I would say, from how they were teased in 7, didn't show up in 8, and everybody was like, here's this concept art. They need to be here. This is what they're going to look like. They need to be put in 9. And I kind of thought that wasn't going to happen, that it was like a fun reference, but it wasn't going to be like the fan wish list of having the Knights of Ren in the movie. But then, of course, when you heard the Palpatine cackle at the end of the trailer, all bets are off. JJ can do whatever the fuck he wants. So it's cool that this is in the spread, like the Knights of Ren are fucking around.
And we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5,
And also, we got
maybe 6.
like this guy's got a machine gun. We have a Cloud Final Fantasy VII blade, a Gimli axe, fucking a scepter mace thing. Like they got some crazy
Dude,
looking
that
weapons.
looks like a mage staff.
It does, yeah. And then this guy in the middle is like, what?
He's just the devil. So
Dude. Yeah, that
Satan.
should be
Satan.
should be interesting.
Satan's on Kylo's side. What is that?
This is Kerry Russell's character. What the fuck? Zoom out a little bit.
Gold.
That's a really fucking cool costume design, though.
It is. What? Look at the surrounding around her, though.
Yeah. I think it's that snowy planet that we see in the trailer when the A-Wing is landing. So
Oh, okay.
that looks dope. This is cool. We get to see who Richard Grant is. So him and Hux are fucking around on a bridge of a ship. He looks pissed. He looks like he's ready to execute some order. And his name is Allegiant General Pride on the bridge of Kylo Ren's Star Destroyer. So very simple, but they look like they're about to.
So are we suggesting that someone is actually above Hux? Is that what we're suggesting
That's
here?
a good question.
Or there's an equal to Hux across the galaxy, and that's Pride?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about rankings. Is Allegiant General? First of all, what does that mean?
I think
and is General above?
I think usually, I could be incorrect. I think usually if there's a prefix, it's under.
Huh. So I have no idea. But I assume they're on the same. What I bet is going to happen, typical movie tropes, Hux has been fucking around, and then Pride comes in. He's like, you guys almost fucked everything up. Snoke's dead. I'm going to take over, and we're going to get things in order. That's what I would say, in the first order.
Everybody's still sweating. Next
Moving
picture.
on. Yeah.
Chewie's in it, which is cool. So we got Chewie, C-3PO, and Rey all together.
Finn.
Finn's there too, yeah. So we've got a handful of the main characters.
And then right after that is that actual shot with them. We see that in the trailer when they're on whatever that buggy is or something, and they're kind of racing through the desert.
Was it supposed to be a buggy or was it supposed to be a speeder? Because like I feel like this is
I don't
just
know
for
exactly.
filming purposes, where it's got tires on it. But I feel like they're supposed to be floating.
Yeah, Star Wars wise, I would assume. I just use buggy as a bad reference.
This is a terrible reference.
A skiff. There we go. Boom. That was cool. I'm glad Chewie's in there. This is a dope photo.
This is like the 3 best pilots in the universe right now.
2 best pilots and the best co-pilot. And BB-8.
Chewie could probably outfly Lando.
I think Chewie knows what it takes to be a good co-pilot, and the Falcon needs a co-pilot.
I don't know what that means.
Like, he knows that he's a co-pilot. He's not the main dude.
Because there's no initiative. Like he doesn't want to go anywhere. And Han's like, let's go here. He's like, all right, I can help you, co-pilot, go in there.
I don't know. That's a good question.
They're like, what do you want to eat? Han says Chipotle. I'm like, I got you.
I got you.
I'm not making my decision. I don't care where we
Chewie's
eat.
been on Uber Eats for a long time, flying the Falcon around, getting major tips.
Chewie eats.
This is a dope photo though. So like, I'm just curious. You know, it's like Poe gonna take over the Falcon.
And he's got that speaker box droid behind him.
Yeah.
What is that thing in the middle?
That?
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of the ship?
That's not part of the Falcon.
I don't know.
That's an extra thing.
Coaxium.
It's a chilled coffee cooler or something.
Yeah, it's a Yeti cooler.
Holy fucking Brontosaurus seps.
Yeah, we got some like fossil looking horses.
Kinda. I didn't know exactly. If you were looking at this, that's exactly what fossil
That's
horses.
all I could really describe it as. And then so let's see, what's her name? I can't not remember. Naomi Aki. Her character's name is Jana. She was at the panel for episode 9 of Celebration. And then we got Finn decked out with some new hair and some new threads.
Oh, he knows how to ride horses because Kanto bite.
Yeah, Rose taught him. Then they made out.
Rose dies, right?
More behind the scenes stuff. It's that fucking skiff again.
Ooh, this might be the locals on.
Whatever planet they're on.
Let's assume this is Tatooine. All right, just for makeshift.
It's not.
How do we know?
Right here.
Pasana.
Pasana. Travis Pastrana.
They renamed it.
The locals of Travis Pastrana.
They renamed Tatooine Pasana.
Why are there so many desert planets?
Can we get a pastrami sandwich? From
And why is it JJ? JJ's gotten 2 desert planets out of the whole franchise. Lucas had what, 4?
4 planets total?
No, 4 desert planets. Lucas got to make 4. How many?
1.
Not even 4. Tatooine, well, and Geonosis.
Not desert. That's rocky.
Geonosis.
Mountainous.
Mountainous.
You said 4 and came up with 2, and one of them was a half-ass.
I saw a meme and it had like 6 things listed, and now I'm failing to come up
Well,
with the answers.
we got Jakku. We've got Jeddah. Well, which isn't JJ.
True. Jakku, Jeddah, Pisana, Tatooine, Geonosis. So there's 5 then. Total. 5 total. My bad. Sorry. I was counting Star Wars numbers. So these people look dope though.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't know why there's yet another desert planet.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was gonna go.
Oh well, whatever. Here's some crazy goodness.
They're not even fighting each other. Like it looks like they cut the picture and they're fighting the same enemy in the middle, but they just kind of brought them together because like their movements right there do not look like they're attacking.
You know,
each
that's
other.
the first thing that I thought of as well. And I thought, well, maybe they're just doing a photo shoot and it's like half staged. But it could. I mean, Avengers did the whole thing. They were putting different footage in the trailers that didn't even appear in the movie, or purposely like opposite footage. So this could be a misdirection.
It like looks obviously like a misdirection.
Because I think the theory is Kylo is obviously out to get them, and then they realize something terrible is happening with Palpatine, and then they join forces at the end. I think that's the ongoing fan theory.
You think there's just Palpatine in between there, just cackling, laughing? So be it.
Regardless, though, it's a gorgeous shot.
Yeah.
Looks like there's
it's okay.
There's water rushing around them. Like, what's happening?
It's a wet day.
Typhoon.
Oh, does it say anything else? Stormy. It says stormy lightsabers.
Stormy confrontation.
but not together. Maybe Bond.
They're forced connection, so it's still happening. Will turn out.
And
Oh, but Ryan Johnson came up with it. It's a terrible idea.
that's a really good point. Keep going.
More behind the scenes stuff.
I don't even see a Star Wars character in this. Keep
Neither
fucking
do I.
going.
That's why I'm going. John Williams doing his probably last score of his entire lifetime.
Yep, with Leia
Yeah, we see Leia in the background.
in the background there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, is that how they do it? They like show it.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
And they play to it.
Yeah, and there's like a time code on the bottom so they can see like what measure of the music that they're on, along with like the time of the movie.
So does he watch it and then put it together?
I believe so. Yeah,
It's gotta be sections. Like
I think he'll be involved as they're working on the movie so that he can start to get some general ideas. But once it comes time to actually write it to the footage, you have to be 100% like precise with the time of the movie. So he probably changes it like 100 times until they get the final cut of the film, because things will, they'll go back and forth.
composer John Williams quote, "I didn't think there would be a second film."
Yeah, now there's been 11. Now this is a fucking sweet shot, and I don't know what's happening or what it's from, but Luke is standing in the remnants of some burning shit, and R2's hanging around, and he's back in the lighter robes that he had at the very end of 7. I don't know how to take it.
Flashback. We're gonna see the actual truth because we've got 2 points of view. We get the fake story point of view, which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but I feel
That's
like
a lie.
they already did that. They're not going to do it again.
Oh, they're gonna clarify because I think we've seen both of their points of view and then the lie point of view of Luke. I think we're gonna get the actual story,
Oh, I see what you mean. Like a true,
true events.
like they're extrapolating on what we already saw. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. But they're very coy about it here, where it doesn't say what's happening. They're just like, here's Mark. Speculation is rampant about who will rise in the rise of Skywalker.
who are not live with us. It just shows Luke and his robes are blown in the wind, and it's like R2D2 under his blowing robes, but the background's all on fire.
Looks sweet though. And then we have the 2 covers, one with Rey,
Light side.
also on that desert, and then one with Kylo with his hair blown in the wind.
Fucking pissed.
He
I
looks
love,
pissed, but regal pissed.
you know,
This looks like a fucking Napoleon portrait.
the other thing that I'm gonna cross themes here. Star Wars since Disney's takeover and Game of Thrones has been on their fucking game when it comes to apparel or like
Yeah,
holy shit.
yeah.
Both of them like new stuff that looks like a Khaleesi, like a dark side Khaleesi outfit.
Also, somebody pointed out, I think the stitching on it is gold. Like there's like very thin gold threading that's stitching the whole thing together.
Oh, I see.
It's not actual gold, but like
Gives it kind of
there's
more
some symbolism there with why Kylo would
symbology.
choose black outfits with some gold stitching.
Because the underlying goodness.
Or maybe General Hux was like, this is your outfit today. Here you go.
Maybe made it out of C-3PO's arm. We don't know yet.
So there's all the images from Vanity Fair. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Those are good. I mean, it's getting me hyped about it. There was like no new characters.
No nudes either. What the hell?
No.
Local nudes. Sorry, I thought you were going to say local. No, I mean, fucking, yeah. I was hyped about that. I was really hyped about that when I saw it. I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks, so, you know.
Richard said it was a flux capacitor that was in the Falcon there. They're going back in time.
I feel like I almost said that. I would have sounded like a doucher.
Well, Richard's the new podcast host. There we go.
No, those photos were dope, man.
I agree. It doesn't feel like that movie's coming out this year. That's how I feel.
Which is
'Cause we
funny
got-
because
we've
last year
gotten-
we were like, when the fuck is it coming out?
Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah,
You
but I mean, outside of the teaser trailer, it's not even a true trailer. We haven't gotten anything. So up until then,
Well,
we
that-
got the teaser, and then we got these
Yeah.
these prints or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah. And I've been totally off news, except, I mean, I gathered some topics for tonight, but I've been off of news. So I'm wondering if there's anything from Galaxy's Edge, because that opened, and we'll talk about that more in a different episode. I wonder if there's anything from that park characters or something that is giving some hints at episode 9. So.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna try to do.
Ooh.
And just because I spoke on Game of Thrones, we're gonna try to do a separate episode for Game of Thrones for those that
We're going
have
to try.
Seen it, for those that have seen it. So it's gonna be kind of a spoiler episode, and we'll do that completely separately. Also, if one of our patrons is up for it, he has visited.
Fuck him.
You know what? I agree.
Yeah, if he's down to come on and chat. Actually, 2 of them have visited.
That's true.
So if they both want to come on together and take over and talk about the park. I don't know if I'm going in September. Or sorry, in August in Orlando.
Why would you go?
I'm already going to Orlando for a conference, but I would have to stay like an extra
8
6 days just to get there.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm
6
like,
days is a lot.
It is, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I don't want to like come back for 4 days, 5 days, and then fly back to Orlando. So
Move the
I don't
conference.
know.
Change
I
the
might
conference.
wait. They should have planned. They should have contacted Kathleen, planned a conference around that.
Nudes.
But yeah, look at Shinobi. I'm down, as if he thinks it's him.
Assumption, asshole.
Ha! Don't make me laugh. All right, what else we got?
What's one of the worst movies you've ever seen?
Ooh, that's a hard question to answer. Mortal Kombat. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I watched something recently where I turned it off after 20 minutes. but I'm drawing a blank right now. But that's my go-to. Like, actually, a terrible movie, not even fun to laugh at, is Mortal Kombat's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Billy Madison's girlfriend as Sonya Blade. It's bad.
The one I go to, it was one of the Transformer movies, like 6 or something.
6?
I started it. I was like, they haven't even transformed any. Like, they're not even doing it.
There's so many, and then Mark Wahlberg's character goes through like 3 movies, right?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of the ones with Mark Wahlberg, and he was running around. I was like, "There's not
so
even
many.
shit blowing up. It's like
I know.
like a diplomatic thing with Transformers.
Yeah.
Hey, we should do this. No, that'll upset the Dagonauts. Like,
I heard the Bumblebee one was actually really, really good.
I bet not.
I would 3-1. I would bet that as well.
Oh, did you? I actually got decent feedback about the new Superbad one with the girls.
Wait, what?
Have you seen that new? It's not related in any way, but it's 2 chicks that are in high school that were like straight A students, and then they come across that are getting ready to graduate, and they're like, well, let's just go out and fucking party it up because we already got into our schools and all this or whatever.
Wait, did it just come out?
Yeah, but it's I was just like, okay, super bad girl version, but I've heard very good things.
What? So it's in theaters right now?
I think so.
All right, let me look.
Yeah,
Whoa, Fandango!
Look it up.
When does that Quentin movie come out? I really want to see that.
Which one is it?
The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I don't know.
That's his last movie ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yo, this Godzilla movie got good reviews too.
Nice.
And fucking Aladdin is out. John Wick 3, everyone's freaking out
Look how
about. Dark
all-
Phoenix.
Whoa. Look how all of them look like The Force Awakens. Like they all same color. Oh,
Yep. Yep. Somebody, I saw a meme about that. It's set up the same way. Rocket Man. Oh, is it this Booksmart?
Yep, that's
I
it.
did see a trailer for that, yeah. And no, it looked good. But I haven't seen Avengers 4 times yet, so I can't see any of these other movies yet.
Have you seen Dick Full of Pikachu? Oh, you haven't yet.
Say Dick full of Pikachu. No, I have not, but that also got good reviews. Why is everything so good nowadays?
Yeah, even Shazam got good reviews. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of catching up to do.
It's almost as if studios know what they're doing. Yeah, I need to take a weekend and just go sit in the movie theater and just catch up and watch like 5 movies.
You know, I might try to do that this week. Out on the road, sometimes I can slip away in the evenings. Maybe I'll be like, ooh, watching this shit.
The opposite of movies that are terrible. Tommy Boy was back in town for a short stint, and we watched Rush Hour.
Oh, all day.
So fucking good still. And watched Old School, and that is still so fucking good.
Really?
I love Old School.
Rush Hour. I put that on an Alaskan flight. Alaskan
I
Airlines.
love Alaska Airlines.
First of all, not to swoop all the way fucking back, we had a flight from Alaska to Seattle and then Seattle to Columbus.
Yeah.
Both of them so rocky.
Really?
And so turbulent. Like, I usually just like, oh, we're shaking. We're fine. Dude, the fucking plane got pushed like 20 feet to the right at one point.
Jesus.
It was like whoosh. I'm like, this is not okay. We're dying today. And like, you felt everything shift like 10 feet to the left or right. I was like, this is it.
Did you ever see Almost Famous?
Yeah.
You know the end where they think they're gonna die in the plane crash?
No, I don't actually.
Fuck. Never mind. I had an anecdote, but it didn't work.
Yeah, antidote.
Medpack.
Medpack. Back to dicks.
What were we talking about before you brought up airlines? Good movies? Bad movies?
Good and bad movies. So Rush Hour definitely holds up because I watched I think the first 50 minutes of that one on one of the flights. It's just so good.
So good.
So good.
Old School's good. We watched a 3rd movie too. We just got hammered and watched like 3 movies and a couple CKY videos. Dr. Brule.
CKY.
What else did we watch?
UHF?
Can't remember. Nah. I don't remember. Fuck.
All right. So one of the final things we'll probably get into here is so the announcement of an Old Republic. So it's like official, unofficial announcement that someone's writing an Old Republic. Did they say trilogy or movie or just storyline or what? I want to know the.
Well, let me catch up on the news here because I don't know exactly.
I need to know the linguistics about it.
So what happened? Here's a little brief timeline here. So one of the many interviews from Star Wars Celebration, somebody was interviewing Aunt Kathy, and they asked straight up, is something Old Republic happening? And she said, yes, we have an Old Republic, something in the pipe, something that we've been thinking about for a while, blah, blah, blah. So that happened in April. And then this actually came out the night that Tommy Boy and I were getting hammered and watching movies. They announced that somebody is working on a script for Old Republic stuff. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong article right now. Hang on.
Get back
This
to it.
is the Celebration thing that I was mentioning. Movie is happening. Boom.
That's
Wait,
it.
that's the same one. Fucking hey, hang on. Listen, guys, we need a young Jamie application.
An elderly.
Wait, this is the same one. How am I not getting the other news? Was it a rumor and it's gone now and it's not real? I'll be so sad. I would be really fucking upset if that happens. Oh, wait, this is the article that we saw. So, what is this person's name? I cannot freaking remember. Being written by Lita Kalogridis. I really cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry.
Cunnilingus.
She wrote Avatar and Shutter Island. 3 sources have confirmed this. So she is writing the script, and this is based on Knights of the Old Republic. So Kathleen's quote was, yes, we are developing something to look at about KOTOR. Right now, I have no idea where things might fall. That was early April, and then this came out a couple weeks ago.
So it's on like the chopping block. If it comes out and they're like, okay, what you wrote was solid.
Well, no, she's literally writing it.
Well, what you just read though.
That was her saying this like a month and a half
Oh,
ago.
okay, I see.
And then this came out with the actual writer. So she's finishing the first script of a potential KOTOR trilogy.
It just says KOTOR, Knights of the Old
It
Republic.
does, but that's what I mean. Everybody is just abbreviating it as KOTOR. It doesn't mean that she's adapting the game to be a movie. You know what I mean? That's my first opinion. I don't think they would do that.
The fact that they're using the actual acronym of KOTOR instead of just saying they're old.
Probably because that's just the most well known. But it says she's the first female writer for a Star Wars movie since The Empire Strikes Back, when somebody was a co-writer along with Lawrence Kasdan. Nobody responded. Like nobody official from Disney or Lucasfilm responded. But then this is also like subtly tied to Benioff and Weiss's trilogy, because that was the speculation is, if they're going to come into Star Wars, they'd be the perfect ones to do a KOTOR movie or a KOTOR series. So
they're suggesting her as the writer.
Well, she's already writing that. The question
then
is that going to be for the Benioff and Weiss project or for Ryan's project?
They would be the directors of the story she wrote.
That's the theory. Slash rumor. Slash proven facts and speculation.
Because even right here, it gets into in KOTOR game, the blah, 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 uprising republic led by the villainous Darth Malak. Like they're directly, or at least in this article, they're talking KOTOR parts of the game, not just Old Republic shit. Cassian Andor and oh my god, we got.
But again, you got to think if a journalist hears somebody's making an Old Republic based script for Star Wars, of course you're gonna go and talk about KOTOR and the plot. Like you can't write an article that's 1 sentence long.
Well, I wonder how.
Can't sell any ads that way.
I wonder how in depth the writer was of this article. If they're balls deep into Star Wars, they would not put the word KOTOR in there if it's not a KOTOR script. If it's a Star Wars fan that's played KOTOR and they put KOTOR in there because it's a fucking KOTOR script, then KOTOR it up.
Sounds like you need to start a magazine. No, it sounds like they put that in there so they can get clicks, so they can make money.
As long as no Cellcath are in it.
Actually, live action Cellcath would be fucking sweet. I'm not fucking around. I'm not kidding, man. No, it's good news. It's cool. If it's Old Republic anything, even if it's based, and if you've listened to this podcast before, we've talked about this 47 million times. But if it's based in the Old Republic era, I think that'd be awesome. It'd be hard to bring a video game to screen. Has there been a good video game to movie adaptation?
No.
Mortal Kombat, Assassin's Creed.
No. What has started as a video game? Mario? Have you seen those?
Mario.
Have you seen those Mario movies?
A long time ago, yeah.
Atrociously bad.
Yeah. But that's a good nostalgic one to like laugh at how bad it is. That's not Mortal Kombat.
It was
Mortal
never
Kombat's bad.
Yeah, it was never even good.
But
Yeah.
has there been a good video game to movie thing? I don't think so. So I don't know. The obvious choice, if I was Kathleen Kennedy and directing
Pokemon?
Lucasfilm, what? Well, yeah, that just happened, 2019.
What do you mean? They had films in 2000, cartoon films.
Oh, and I'm also making stuff up because it was a card game and a video game and a cartoon all at the same time. So it already was in screen territory.
Okay, there's rules now. Tomb Raider, maybe. I don't know anything about any of those, so that's not a valid point because I don't know the shit I'm talking as. Butts, big old butts. That's what we gotta wrap around.
Butts in my face.
Yeah.
Have you seen? You never saw the old Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies?
No,
I did not either.
I don't have. I've heard decent things about the newer Tomb Raider stuff that came out. Some of the video games, they're super cheap now. So if they're a decent play out, I'll fucking spend $5 on them.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I think I do own the first one of like I think they rebooted it because it was on Xbox Games with Gold. So I think I own it. I just haven't played it yet. And based on my rate of video game playing, I'm not ever going to play it. So
no.
And I would assume it's just going to be like Force Unleashed and everything. And that's really not my kind of game, anyways. You know, the only thing that keeps me going in Assassin's Creed is the historical stuff, because the gameplay, just like we were talking about with Fallen Order with that footage, I don't love that, and it gets kind of old kind of quick. But I can fucking scale the Great Pyramid and look at the Sphinx and walk around Alexandria. So
See, what separates
in
something?
Assassin's Creed, that keeps me going.
What separates Assassin's Creed from the Arkham games? The upgradable gadgets, the new gadgets, the different enemies. Like, it's the same game and the same fighting style. But
Yeah, I would say just like the setting.
and that's what I'm
setting,
saying.
the
The
story.
different force powers you can use, the bigger and badder enemies that you get. If you're just chopping up stormtroopers on different worlds, I'm done. I wouldn't even buy it. There's got to be a deeper storyline to that.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. So yeah, the setting is one thing that helps, but it still has to be a good story. But we'll see.
Maybe.
Sorry, I got Assassin's Creed on the brain because I've been reading about ancient Egypt and I want to go play Origins because I haven't played it in like a year.
Went and bought a book about whales.
After you saw the beached whale.
After I saw that whale, I'm like, man, these fucking creatures are crazy. And you've seen like the killer whales, how smart they are and what they do. And I came across this video on YouTube of I think it was like a humpback whale that saved this diver. Like, it got real close to her. She was diving, and it like kept nudging her up. And she was like, what the fuck is happening? And then she got into it, and on the scanners there was a huge shark nearby, and it was like saving her, keeping her above the water.
That's crazy.
And yeah, so I was like, fucking whales are crazy. They're the smartest things out there, and they, whatever. So I started reading this
They're
prehistoric
supposed to be
thing.
super smart.
Yeah.
And dolphins and orcas.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be super smart.
Well, this book that I'm reading is about how they were actually land mammals at some point, because they're so different from fish. They're mammals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it was like, how over several million years did they go from fish to land, give birth on land, get fur, and then go back into the water? Like they said.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting into it. They're talking, and it's all based on fossils. So they're like, well, this fossil is more related to like a fucking mouse than a fish. So they're like, well, why is it more related to? So
What era of Star Wars is this from?
learning things today.
I look up random things on Google. I'll just be like, we were driving by a bunch of rivers, and I was like, I'm just gonna look up a river on Wikipedia. I'm just curious. I just want to like read the brief synopsis of what a fucking river is, because I know, obviously I know what a river is, but like, does it flow into the ocean or does it flow out of the ocean?
Whatever's the high ground, it goes away from.
But what if there is no high ground? What if there's no mountains and it's just like a flat?
There's
river?
always high ground when it comes to water.
Yeah, technically.
What are you watching? Tributaries.
But literally, like, I would get a documentary series on the goddamn Delta, just to learn about rivers and how they pour into the ocean. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just nerd out about dumb shit.
I do the same thing. The Nile River. They were talking. I saw this thing where the Nile River has moved like 10 miles east, and during the Great Pyramids when they were built, it was right fucking on the
Well,
pyramids.
it didn't move. It used to be so Like the land was higher and the river was so deep that it was a lot fucking wider.
It wasn't 10 miles wide. The rivers moved.
No.
The fishy. Ooh. All right, let's wrap up the episode here. So I had watched
Despecialized.
episode 4 and episode 5 despecialized. So it was still like Blu-ray quality, but they took out all the banthas walking in the front of everything, and the fake rocks that are so obvious in front of R2 on Tatooine when he's eyeballing the Luke.
I believe the synopsis of the Despecialized is a fan-made cut that's supposed to be as close to an original release in HD that we can get today, because obviously they haven't released that. I think they did do an unaltered in like 05 after episode 3 came out that was in DVD form, but there's been nothing since then. So the Despecialized is like not official, but it's as close as we can probably get.
So I guess my synopsis on both films,
Synopsisize it for me. I want to hear.
it just felt more true. And what I mean by that is all the shit that he put in afterwards felt so forced. One, the CGI wasn't that great when he did it.
Yeah, it was 94, 95.
And it looked so obvious. Like when the bantha walk, you're like I even get it. But it doesn't look like anything else in the fucking film. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, I would love to be inside his head when he was doing that.
Like, I guess...
Because I know that the story is like he didn't get to make the movie that he was trying to because of the limitations.
Yeah.
So he wanted to go back and tweak it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Like, you kind of have a classic piece of film history here. Like, you don't want to fuck it up or change it.
Well, I mean, I guess that was his point, and he thought that was the time to do it. Like, oh my God, look at all the computers. I can make this shit now.
It was after Jurassic Park. That was like point 2 with ILM where shit got real. And he was like, all right, Jurassic Park can happen. Let's do this.
Yeah. There was like obvious stuff. So like in episode 4, when they're on a Death Star and Han runs down after those stormtroopers and is like just fucking raging, and then he comes around that corner. There's like six of them in the Despecialized. In the special, there's like 1 million.
Yeah, it's a whole garrison.
It looked bad in the Despecialized. He walked around, he's like, oh no, 2 more. And then I was like, wait, you just chased 4 fuckers down there, and then there was 2 more. And you're like, no. The other bad thing, which was obvious, is the Emperor. He looked terrible.
Oh yeah, the hologram.
Yeah, and then his voice and everything is just like, we should take him to the store and buy him goodies.
Get him band-aids.
Like it was bad.
Bad, man. It really was, yeah.
But like the Vader stuff was still so perfect. Ben was awesome.
Yeah, 5 doesn't have much that changed at all.
No, there were small things. I noticed when they were flying, they like took a couple ships away, which I didn't honestly even know they were added. Like when you talk about ships and stuff, I don't really pay attention.
All right, so I know a lot of people that love the original Star Wars, one of their favorite things is the trench run. And after watching the Despecialized, I really don't think the space battle at the end is that impressive. There's like 4 X-Wings.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
4 Y-Wings. You know, it just doesn't seem... That feels like I feel bad saying that. It feels like sacrilege, but I'm just not that into it. Like, there's only like 4 of them.
You know what's funny is I did get a feeling of... Like the films felt empty in a certain way. Like when you did see those final trench runs, like they took out half the fucking fleet because like that's the original one had half a fleet. Like there was six fuckers going in, and out of the entire Death Star they released like 4. You're like, hey, just go get them.
Yeah, you got it.
And you're like, okay. But even in Tatooine, like in episode 4, when they were walking into Mos Espa or Isley, whatever, like the people walking around, there was like 6 people outside in the entire city, and that was it.
You know what's funny is I didn't notice that.
I was walking, I was like, it's so empty.
I was just happy that there wasn't a Ronto in front of my face. I didn't notice how many people there were.
Yeah, it felt so empty. And that's funny because we always complain about the opposite. Oh, look, there's just shit going on everywhere. And maybe I'm so accustomed to that now.
Every scene is so dense.
Yeah, that now that when there's 2 guys walking in like dirty robes outside, and that's it. They're walking into the bar, and there was like 2 people outside.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be a city, right? I don't know.
A hive.
wonder if I might have actually
Taking some official notes.
taken some notes. I don't remember. Let's see here.
I just like it because, 5's high on my list, but 4 and 6 really aren't. I'm just not as into the original trilogy, but it is nice to see it for what it was when it came out. Like the people that really, as annoying as they can be, the people that love and cherish the OT over everything else, like that's what they know. That's what it came out as. That's what they saw in theaters. So it's good to see it as it was. I mean, what are you going to do? Even if they went back now and tried to fix everything and add more CGI, like it's never going to fit really. So it's just nice to just leave it as it is, man.
Yeah. It always felt forced. The special editions always felt forced.
I mean, it became a cult phenomenon for a reason. Pop culture. Whatever.
Mr. Richard was asking, have you seen the reimagined Vader and Ben fight?
I did, yeah.
Holy fuck. Yeah?
It was cool.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was most impressive. I don't know who made it, but
And I loved it for the fact that they seemed like that they stayed true to the fighting style. Like, even though it was they took out like the pokey part, which is terrible, but they still made him like kind of slow and jerky, but like made it flow so much better. And Vader was just a monster, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him do. Didn't he even pull a Luke in Episode 8 where he kind of like shifted himself around? Like, I felt like he was just a little more sneaky and nimble, almost like an Emperor in Episode 3, where the Emperor's like, he's not swinging trying to cut you in half. He's like just rolling around.
fucking doing gremlin actions.
It's the fighting stance of shoulders above head.
No maneuvers over here.
The shoulders above head stance, where he's going, ooh, ooh, ooh. Try to have it. Dark side, bitch. Hey. But that I honestly loved it. I thought it was a good length.
That was cool. It was well done.
I thought it was really well done.
My favorite part is that I think I've seen one in the past, and it was just them fighting. I was like, all right, it's kind of ridiculous. Like,
oh, but they cut this in.
It's as if Obi-Wan is, 60 and he's still fucking around, and Vader's, in his suit, but he's still fucking around. But this one, it didn't feel as forced, and also it was mixed in with other scenes throughout that whole sequence at that part of the movie. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just the fight, it was blended in, and that I think was done really well.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Yeah. I'm actually probably going to watch it again tonight because it was totally classic.
What am I going to watch tonight, man? Yeah, I've just been watching YouTube videos of like ancient Egypt stuff. Magical Egypt is good, and then Pyramid Code is good. I don't know what I'm going to watch.
Oh, here we go. Shinobi said, I talked to the creators the other day. I'm assuming of the reimagined Vader fight. They were looking for new ideas. I asked if it would be possible to make a Revan redeemed versus Malik on Star Force.
Just tell them to make me versus Mopar.
Yeah.
He'll be in a Mopar in a car trying to chase me down, and I'll just like shoot him. Boom. R-Trooper, bitch. You did, man.
No, that would be legit. Or Revan versus Malik, where Malik loses his jaw.
That'd be dope.
Where they're both on the light side, or slipping, I guess, at that point, and decisions need to be made.
Tell him to do that scene where Darth Bandit walks in the Star Destroyer and just shoves 40 troops out of the way.
He blows up the fucking...
He walks in and he just fucking kills troopers. Like, what, you're right standing here. I'm Darth Bandit. I'm an apprentice. Sith, motherfucker.
Sith heaven.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Episode. We did land grant.
Is there anything we're missing before we end? So we're saving Game of Thrones. We're saving Galaxy's Edge. I know that.
I did get a Sega Genesis console. I've been playing that here and there.
It's trash, right?
It's so good. Honestly, you know the reason why? I'll play Atari for 2 minutes. I'll play NES for 10 minutes. And it just progressively gets better because the games get more in depth and everything. So when I started playing Sega,
12 minutes.
It's close to 26 minutes.
Nice.
But I've got all the Mortal Kombats. Actually, somewhat playable. I'm terrible at that game. I got halfway through the log or whatever the tiki
Totem.
torch.
Totem
Totem pole. So that was good. And then I'm playing all the Sonics. The Sonics are so classic to me. Sonic 2 is probably one of my most played games of all time. I can easily get to like one of the last levels without even thinking.
Sonic's garbage.
I love it. I
Just
love
kidding.
it. And then it's got off-brand games like Altered Beast, where you eat like little floating atoms and you become like a dragon and shit. It's fucked. It's a bad game. You should hear the audio on this game. Rise from your grave.
That sounds like Gauntlet Legends shit.
Yo, it's that bad. And then I played Jewel Master, which is one of the classic games I
You always
loved.
talked about that one, yeah.
It's not even that great, but the basis of the game's cool. So as you go throughout the levels, you pick up rings, and depending on the rings, they have different powers. So you pair up 2 rings on one hand and pair up 2 rings on the other.
Yeah.
So and they all, depending on the green ring with the blue ring, does this power. The green ring with the red ring does this power, and you keep mixing them.
That's cool.
And depending on your enemies, like you come across this phoenix, which I can never fucking beat. But if you're shooting flames at the phoenix, you're not doing shit. So you got to do the wave. It's like a wave attack. So yeah, it's exactly it.
Soundwave?
No,
Water wave.
Water wave. So, Altered Beast is badass.
Sounds
yes.
cool. I haven't played retro shit in quite a while. You know, I'm waiting for Nintendo Switch to get their shit figured out. I bought it without looking into it, assuming that all the old Nintendo games would be on it, just like the DS. I can just buy Pokemon or buy Mario, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They only have the NES Virtual Arcade on there. So there's no Super Nintendo, there's no Game Boy stuff. So I'm like, the fuck, man?
Man, even
Add the shit on here so I can play it.
Tommy Boy said Mario 64 is on DS. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck all day.
Yeah, no, it is. It's yes.
Right now, my DS saved me during Alaska because we didn't
Saved me.
like during downtime, which we didn't have a lot of. But you know, when it's midnight out and the sun's still out and I can't fall asleep, I want to do something. So I was playing a Pokemon trading card game. Still balls deep in that game. It's so fun. I started the brand new Pokemon game that my sister got me for Christmas. I just now put it in and started it. Kind of wonky, but it's super cool having an actual 3D where you're walking through a land.
What's the new one?
The one I got was
Sun and Moon?
Fire Sun.
Because there's a new one for Switch too. That's on Switch only. So I don't know if it was.
Yeah, I think mine's called Fire Sun, Sunfire. I don't know, something like that. Pontiac Sunfire.
Firebird.
But it's different because obviously the older ones are just above and you're kind of walking in blocks. This one, I'm like, you walk through the grass and shit. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. It has an element to it.
And then there's Mario games for that. Yeah, I'm extremely happy with the money I put into my DS, and I could buy a trading card game for $10 and download it and have it
Forever. Yeah.
all day, man.
We will have more E3 news on the next episode, probably. I think that's happening right now. So obviously we saw Fallen Order, but we haven't seen everything yet. But somebody in our chat earlier was saying Age of Empires is coming out with another remaster for Age of Empires 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to chat about that a little bit. And they teased an Avengers game that's coming out, and they're supposed to be announcing that. So I want to talk about that for sure, because there hasn't been a Marvel game in fucking forever.
Yeah, it's true.
They've had Spider-Man for PS4, and then it's all been mobile games. So I haven't had. I know Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out for Switch, but there hasn't been like another big Marvel game. So
Kerner said, I love the Sega sound right before Sonic starts. Sega. I could go through that. Sonic is my shit. I played more Sonic than I did Mario for NES.
all right, you know those old infomercials that would play it late at night, and it would be some washed up artist, and it would be like their greatest hits album, and it would be like a UHV or what's the UVC? QVC?
QVC?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, to buy the shit?
So as you were singing that, I was like, oh yeah, it's like Mopar's greatest hits, and it's just you just singing like the Sonic theme and the Star Wars theme.
That's awesome.
We should do that.
All right, guys. We've talked about a lot here. Fallen Order looks great. We're actually half hyped. I'm a little more than half hyped for that now.
I'm about half hyped.
The Vanity Fair spread is honestly this is what I need in my life.
Yeah, that was great.
Star Wars has been somewhat quiet. I mean, for an entire month, we got one episode out of it. So it's been somewhat quiet in the vast majority of May. But we also got KOTOR teaser stuff, Mopar Despecialized. I'm going to try to watch episode 6, I'm sorry. See what happens there. I don't feel like there's a huge
Watch it
amount
tonight.
There's... we could.
Do it.
I'll probably jump on that Chernobyl shit, actually.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll start that. I don't know.
So this isn't going to spoil anything, but they were talking about the history, the facts about Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I think I watched it on YouTube, and they were saying like actual deaths from Chernobyl was like 25,000. But the recorded deaths from the Soviet Union, 23. That's how fucked this whole situation was, because it was like a leak.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
And of the people affected by that, like in a 100-mile radius, there was a lot of symptoms and deaths. But the only deaths that the Soviet Union actually registered were the people that were blown up in the facility. And that was it.
Right.
Everything else was ignored.
The radiation thing is so weird.
Oh,
Because, like, it's not like there's, like, a wildfire taking over.
get ready.
I'm excited.
Get ready.
Maybe I'll start that then.
The radiation thing of how they show it on film. Oh, it's fucking crazy, dude.
So it's not a documentary.
no, it's a show.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Also, low key, was super unhyped from the Game of Thrones documentary, the 2-hour thing. I was like, why am I watching this?
Bad?
Yeah, I was
Worse than the finale or better?
Oh, way worse. No, the documentary part of it. I mean, there was like, if you were hype into how things are made, which I kind of am.
Yeah.
But it was like all, I don't know, makeup, which is like, okay. There was like 45% of it was Danny's hair. It's like, okay. And then there was a guy that put snow on the ground, fake snow.
Hey, don't belittle that guy.
Oh, I was like, no, I'm done with this. I was like, if they got into more like Sophie Turner, like how are you preparing for this scene? Well, I would do this, and that would be tits.
Yeah.
But it was all just, oh yeah, this is and there's extras. They got real deep into the extra guys that you see. There's like a total of 20 seconds of this guy over the 7 seasons, and they got real deep into it.
Maybe that's the point, because then you don't usually get to see their stories and everything.
Yeah, but that's not why I was watching it. I don't know. It was I wanted to see more of like the table readings of Kit learning. Like that was the only major thing that I got out of it. Everything else was like, so this is what she's wearing this today, and we got to ship it over here because it might have. I'm like, I don't care about your shipping costs. Like, show me her in it, or like what goes into like how to put like. Yeah, I was. Maybe other people feel differently about that, but I was like, this should not. First of all, it should not be 2 hours. Second of all, I got nothing out of it. Almost.
So was it just season 8?
Yes.
That's different. I thought it was like a recap documentary of the entire series.
I mean, very slight. Like they did have one extra that was from season 1 all the way up through season 7. He was a northerner or a guy.
But it's mostly like season 8 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
I'm sure I'll watch it.
weird shit. Like
I'm
the
sure I'll
small
watch it.
stuff was. I mean, it was like small stuff. Like the guy who put the snow on the ground. He's like, well, I'm gonna put the snow kind of like this, so it looks like it blew into this scene. I was
Yeah,
like,
that stuff's interesting.
I was like, oh, cool. Why did that take 20 minutes to say?
Just in case.
I had to drive all the way up here, and then he's like, what if it really snows? Then we really have a debacle. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Give me a good show. I was like, who cares?
And they couldn't even do that.
So,
We'll talk about it next. That's a
shots
teaser for
fired.
next week. Ooh, shit.
All right, guys. Rogue Squadron Podcast, episode 196.
Ooh, we didn't do guess the scene. No.
We're holding it out.
Holding it out. Not going to happen.
Put it in our back pocket.
It's 193 for the record.
193. Episode
We
193.
love you all.
Rogue Squadron Podcast. If you guys are big fans of the show, or if you've made it this far, you can become a patron of the show on patreon.com. Find the show. There's many different tiers. We would enjoy all of them. If you
And you
fan
would
of the show.
enjoy all of them as well.
So we can do that. The beer was Land Grant, 3 out of 3. It was
Helios.
Helios. We always like our Land Grant. And that's it.
They're nice people over there. They're cool. It was good.
They're chill. I hate your sound.
Sorry, I laughed at you, and then my laugh was dumb, and I laughed at my own laugh as I heard it.
Oh, just as on
stay.
on the final note,
All right, what is it?
The Dark Knight is still one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Watched it like twice today.
All right, quick side note. I know we're done. Here we go. New episode 194.5. Here we go. It's starting.
3.5.
Robert Pattinson cast as the next Batman. What do you
Who's
think
that?
about that? You haven't heard any of that news either?
What is it?
Do you have news? Do you have the smartphone? Do you have a supercomputer in your pocket? Subaru. Robert, the Twilight guy, the vampire Twilight guy, is the new Batman.
Who?
For the new Jesus
Who's Robert Pattinson?
Pattinson.
The Twilight
Hang
guy.
on. Everybody's like, hey, he's a fucking Twilight. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
He's a Twi'lek.
Twilight. This guy.
Oh, okay. I don't see that as a far stretch. Actually, he kind of looks more like a Robin.
But you haven't even seen Twilight, so like you're not tainted by like, oh, he's a terrible dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen his Robin taint. I don't mind that. Is he supposed to be like a younger Batman?
Yeah, I think it's an origin story Batman.
Oh, I'm okay with that. He looks good
Yeah, everybody's I don't know why people are freaking out. I mean, all you got to do is think.
because he's been in bad movies. That's
Ben
all.
Affleck had really bad reception when they announced it, but he was great. And then obviously, like the main example is Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Yeah,
Everyone was like, 10 things I hate about you. He's not going to be a good villain. It's like,
you don't know that.
There we go, best villain.
Different director, they might gel. You never know. Richard says, I think Mopar would be a badass Batman. More like a drunk one.
Beard man.
Hey, I'm Batman.
Stop doing crime.
Let's drink about it, buddy, baby.
If you stop stealing that, I'll take you to the bar. That'd be a good way to solve crime.
What are you gonna buy with that stolen merchandise? Beer? You want to just go straight to the beer? Cut out the middle, man.
Cut out the middleman, which is
Let me
the
go.
old lady that you're robbing.
And then
That's the middleman.
Yeah.
Cut out the middleman.
Cut them all out.
All right, I've had
Shut
enough.
them all down. Thank you, guys. All right, we are no longer recording. Thank you guys for being live with us.
Shut them all down.
Shut them all. Kill them all. Fuck them.
Oh, Jesus.
We, like I said, are no longer live, but we are no longer recording. We're still live with you guys. So. All right. I you know what I could go for right now? Cheez-Its. Something crunchy, baby. I want Cheez-Its. I'm actually really hungry. I'm gonna grab something.
Yeah. I want a snack and a beer, and I might start Chernobyl, or I'm just gonna go on YouTube.
I had a banana for dinner.
That was it?
Yeah, I had I had a 6-inch sub from Subway, 12-inch. I had 6-inch, and then we did a bunch of landscaping. Then I had the rest of it,
Okay.
and then I had a banana for dinner. So I'm like running on low over here. Fucking hungry.
Go get some food.
They have that.
Don't be passing out.
Passing out on the giblets.
Mopar.
All right, guys.
Oh.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you. Like I said during the episode, we're gonna be trying to do a Game of Thrones recap, maybe this week sometime. So if you guys really want to dig deep into that, you can catch that later. And then I think there was. Oh, we're gonna Shinobi. We can talk about times and schedules for having you on because it would be awesome to get your feedback on Galaxy's Edge.
True. Yeah. And if JD wants to jump on too, I don't know. JD also went.
Yes.
JD 8A4A322A.
777. All right, guys. Bye. We'll see you, Earthworm Jim.